Hello and welcome to Symphony Insiders. I'm joined here by Tommy Pearson and Hannah Solveij, and we shall be getting right inside an incredible performance given by the Cleveland Orchestra from their home, the Mandel Concert Hall in Cleveland. A performance that was conducted by their chief conductor, Franz Welser Must. So they will be performing a piece which is, well, they're doing a celebratory concert. And what are they celebrating? They are celebrating the fact that they have been gifted by a very wealthy friend of the conductor, the original manuscript of the piece that they're going to play. And that piece is Mahler's Second Symphony, The Resurrection. This is an extraordinary thing for any orchestra. The Cleveland Orchestra actually own now the original, Mahler's original manuscript of that symphony, handwritten.
Yeah. It's a great story, isn't it? Because the Alma Mahler, who was Mahler's wife, handed over the manuscript to Mengelberg, who was this great conductor, and
here in Amsterdam.
Here in Amsterdam, and one of the sort of benchmarks of Mahler performance, therefore. And then it was bought by this American, Gilbert Kaplan, a businessman who paid a lot of money for it, but he was completely obsessed with the piece.
Yeah.
And so obsessed with the piece, he had to have the manuscript, but then he also learnt to conduct, so he could just conduct that piece. He didn't conduct any other works ever. And he went all over the world conducting this piece. And then when he died, it was put up for sale anyway, and it was sold for $5.6 million, the most that a manuscript has ever got in an auction. And the person that bought it was this guy, Herbert Kloiber, who then gifted it to Franz Welser Must, and there it is in Cleveland, and they're able to use that as the basis for their performance. Fantastic.
It's really amazing. Apparently, on the performance that we're talking about, the manuscript was there for the audience to see. I mean, he wasn't actually using the manuscript during the performance. I think
that would break.
Although, of course, there are much more expensive things on stage. I mean, most of the violins, I'm guessing, are much more than only $5.5 million. Really, it's peanuts. But it's only 232 pages of handwritten dots and lines.
But you could just imagine at a big moment, he goes and rips the page off, and
so dear. So 3 million euro,
someone gets the sellotape out.
But it was for the audience in Cleveland to have a look at. It belongs to the orchestra. It's an amazing thing. Do you think it makes any difference whether they've got the original manuscript or not?
Maybe, because I think the orchestras, they have all their different sounds, they play with different conductors, and they all have different ideas, hopefully always concerning to what Mahler wrote. But in these times, a lot of years are already passed, and we developed it by our own emotion and inspiration. But it's very interesting, actually, if we really have the manuscript in our hands, which is a big, it's a big feeling, I guess, to have Mahler's bacteria in the hand.
Yeah. Literally.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. But it gives another feeling of, okay, I really have to play that what is standing there. It's just more interesting than published score, which is used a lot of time.
I find it actually quite emotional looking at original manuscripts. It's almost like looking at a diary, I think, because you can see the way the strokes were made. I mean, it's like a painter. You know, to really feel the painting, if you get right up close in the gallery and you can actually see the brush strokes, there's something amazing about that, because it takes you much closer to the artist. And I think that's the same with manuscript. There, almost between the notes is something a little bit more special. It's what he actually put down. And of course, it's something that we are missing now with a lot of writing, is that a lot of composers are now writing on computer. Yeah. And you don't have those personal strokes on the page, which I think matters so much.
I mean, I think also that, especially with Mahler, he wrote so much down, not just the notes, of course, but all the instructions.
Yeah.
The very opening of this symphony, of course, I've played it many times. And the bass part has got 5 instructions, 5 on just the first note. So you can imagine, I haven't unfortunately not seen this original manuscript in real life, but is so much information. Let's just get an idea of what this symphony sounds like, and that these. I mean, first of all, the big word at the beginning of this symphony is wild. Now let's just see whether the Cleveland Orchestra pick up on just that one word alone.
This piece has to be live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the visceral
Yeah.
feeling, effect that you get from this music when you're sitting right there in the hall. That's
right. And I mean, of course, absolutely, it works on screen as well. Talking about special moments, this symphony is full of amazing moments. But one of the things that will forever baffle me is how a composer like Mahler can wake up one day, write. I mean, the beginning of the symphony, in the violins, nobody's ever done that before, and then yes, while it's extraordinary. And then the second movement comes, and you're in an entirely different musical world. Isn't that absolutely tremendous? This is the most beautiful type of dance music. There was a lovely bit in that where you saw the cellos sliding down the string. That's not them showing off. It's written in the part. Such was the intelligence of the way that Mahler wrote, that he thought even about how one note should go to another note in the middle of this sublime piece of string writing. Personally, I think that if somebody wants to listen to a symphony for the first time, I would very happily put them in front of Mahler 2, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, if somebody is sort of halfway through, almost to the end of their sort of symphonic learning journey, they will end up also a Mahler 2. That's what's so astonishing about it, is that it's perfect for an introduction, and it's perfect for once you've actually learned some stuff, you become more mature. And Mahler seems to, there are just so many of them, and how do you treat those moments? But in this particular concert, there is an incredible moment where suddenly the voice starts to sing, and out of nowhere, this angel sounds. So at that point in the symphony, the singer has been sat outside the backstage, or normally they go backstage, come on, and they've just got to pick this note out of nowhere. And it's really easy to do that badly. You really needs to be a quality singer to just be able to open your mouth at such a point in the symphony. And of course, everyone's waiting for it, right?
Well, and it's not just the soloist who has to suddenly perform beautifully without having warmed up. It's also the chorus, because when the chorus comes in the last movement, they've been sitting there for the entire piece. It's a long piece.
Yeah.
And then they have to absolutely nail it without coughing beforehand, clearing their throat or anything. They boom, like that. This is a famous entrance for a singer, this. And by the way, those are my favourite bars of Mahler.
Full stop, that's
Full
it.
stop.
We just hit the button.
It's the simplicity of it. Absolutely gorgeous in the way he does it. But I'm reminded of a performance not that long ago, a few months ago, with the LSO were on tour with this piece. London Symphony Orchestra, with this piece, with Simon Rattle conducting. And
It's Sir Simon to you, by the way.
Sir Simon Rattle, of course. We are not worthy. And Sarah Connolly, Dame Sarah Connolly. Goodness, there's a lot of titles. She was the contralto. And because the contralto, generally speaking, doesn't come on until the beginning of the third movement.
Right.
Because the third movement runs pretty much into that movement we've just heard. And you were saying about the pitch. Actually, the pitch is fine because they find it from the last note, which is quite a low note, of the previous movement. And that's all fine.
But you're not allowed to scoop up to it.
No.
You've got to hit it.
You've got to hit it. But it's that moment is all about the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Because when Janet Baker does it with Bernstein, before she's even sung anything, the whole audience is just going, oh.
Yes.
It's amazing. In this particular case, they decided that where Sarah Connolly was going to be was by the organ, where the organist would play. Now, it's quite high up, behind the stage. Interesting place to put them, but, why not? But for whatever reason, somebody didn't get her from the dressing room. And so they get to that moment, and there's no one there. So everything has to stop. And I only know this, by the way, because Sarah Connolly wrote about it on Twitter. So everyone knows about it. So he stopped for 2.5 minutes while someone went and get her. Then she goes up to stand in her position. But of course, now she needs her note because she's missed the last note of the previous movement. So someone in the orchestra plays it, but quietly, subtly, but so quietly she doesn't hear it because she's quite a long way away.
Right.
So she has to guess the note. She doesn't have perfect pitch. Has to guess the note, and she doesn't quite get it. It's about a semitone out. That's embarrassing for almost everyone concerned.
Yes.
And the thing I feel bad about with it is the killing of that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because everyone makes mistakes, things happen.
Yes.
But for it to happen at that moment, we just seen it. It's just an astonishing moment. Yeah. And it was killed because of that.
Concert disasters. I can tell you of one. I'll tell a little tale out of school. We did a concert. I believe it was in Vienna, and with Marius Janssen's Saint Marius to me,
obviously.
And I can't quite remember what the encore was, but we did an encore, and for whatever reason, it crashed in the most horrible way. There was half the orchestra was on one beat and the other half was on the other, and we couldn't find each other. It remained off the whole time. Very short, normally a very sweet encore was completely ruined. The whole concert was completely ruined. What we thought, of course, they'd had a whole 2 hours before this disastrous moment. The audience were very happy. But honestly, it feels at that moment like there's a death in the family. I mean, it's really horrific. If you're on stage, it's a very, very lonely place to be. Have you had any concert disasters you want to share with us?
Oh.
Not yet. You will. Don't worry.
I've had. By the way, in Mahler 2, of course, one of the sort of stagey problems, even if you've got the contralto on stage rather than up in an organ loft, is that there's off stage. players, isn't there? There's offstage brass and percussion.
Yes.
In that sort of way he has often with the little marching band type stuff. And that can present its own problems because they sit there for ages waiting to play. They need to know when they're going to be coming in. Someone needs to open the door. You know, they need to make sure the videos work. The whole thing is a disaster.
How did they do that?
How did they do it in his day?
Yes.
I don't know, because there was no video then. But anyway, now you mentioned the choir earlier, who've been sat there very patiently. Let's just have a look at them a moment when the choir is singing. An incredible moment of any concert is to see that. Of course I recommend that you watch this on Symphony. Of course I do. But I also recommend that you go out of your house, and if there's a performance at any point, just go and see it. It's almost by any orchestra. It is incredible. We have to talk about the elephant in the room on this particular performance. We're in 2022, the back end of 2022. We can't get away from the fact that it's bizarre to see it. It always was. I mean, face masks are a thing. What's your take on what you've just seen?
Well, that what we have just seen, I mean, we have seen this for maybe 3 years already. When this started, I found this completely weird. Of course, I did it because it was better, it was required, and of course, I believe there was the COVID. But at some point, if you see a concert after these years where we made some good solutions, the orchestra not having masks, the brass players not having masks, because of course they need to blow in their instrument. Why the singers, the most important part actually of the last movement has to wear the face mask? I mean, it's nice, they want to care about the people there, but the picture at itself is terrible. They sing, they have a really important text about what was created must perish, what perished will rise again and again.
Yeah.
And these words are so beautiful, and if you cannot hear them, because when I listen to it, I don't know what they sang actually.
Well, look, full disclosure, we don't know why they're wearing the masks.
We don't know.
We don't know under what circumstances with insurance, or I mean, we have no clue. I assume that they would take the masks off when they started singing. I don't know.
That would be even weirder, to take it off. To have it on when not singing and then take it off while singing, that would be even weirder.
Yes, now you've said it like that, I think you might well be right. This is, and I've done concerts recently with choirs where some are wearing masks, and for whatever reason they're being considerate. I don't know.
But that's a choice thing, right? But with
That's
Cleveland, clearly it's a thing,
right?
I think one of the problems I think this piece has is that it's very easy to make it a success. It's such a great work with such an astonishing ending.
Yes.
Big, uplifting ending.
And it is a big finish, that's for sure. The last bars of Mahler's incredible Second Symphony, the Resurrection, played there by the Cleveland Orchestra, all of them scraping away and blowing away. It's absolutely fantastic. Tommy, Hannah, thank you very, very much for joining me. Thank you for joining us on Symphony Insiders. If you want to watch the whole of that performance, Cleveland Orchestra, Franz Welser Must, am I right?
Franz Welser Must.
Thank you. And Mahler's Second Symphony, then please do so by watching here on Symphony.live. But, as they say from here in Amsterdam, until next time, tot ziens.